What's up, Saiyan Army? So before we get into this video, first off, I want to thank my client Ivan for allowing me to share his transformation with you guys. These transformation videos serve two purposes: one, to motivate you guys, and two, to educate you on how simple this process is. Every one of you watching this video, you guys are all one decision away from changing your life. If you don't like the way you look in the mirror, or you want to change something about yourself physically, you're just one decision away. So that's what these videos are for. If you guys want to watch more of these videos, I'll link the playlist to all my transformations thus far down below. So second off, I want to talk about the title of this video: how to get rid of man boobs. Now, this isn't to point the finger at anyone. I ran this title by my client Ivan before even making this video, but the title is to educate you guys, and that is about man boobs. Really, there's two ways to get rid of man boobs. One is to get rid of your chest fat, lose weight. Two is to build muscle, and those are the two ways you're gonna get rid of your chest fat. Keep in mind, chest fat, man boobs is not gynecomastia. It's not gynecomastia, it's not gyno. It's two totally different things. Don't get it twisted. Now let's get into the background of Ivan. Now, Ivan started at 174 pounds. We got him in 12 weeks down to 158 pounds. So that's 16 pounds in 12 weeks. It's nothing spectacular, but I want to show you guys this transformation. And you guys need to remember that fat loss isn't a race. Everyone's body and metabolisms are different, so everyone will lose weight at different rates. A little bit more background about him. Ivan's been working out for a year and a half. He was on a 4-day split, which we increased to 5 days, and I put him on a version of my Saiyan power building program because I wanted to help him get his lifts up, because I felt like he could. And he's only a year and a half into the weights. On the next clip, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you guys his first email he sent me before we even started online coaching. And I'm not gonna read it to you guys because just for time's sake, but if you wanna read it, feel free to read it. I think a lot of you guys will be able to relate to his story and where he started. Week 1. So Ivan is pretty new to tracking macros. He's done it for a little while off and on. What he told me was, prior to online coaching, he was following a diet plan that someone gave him, and he was sick of eating the same foods every single day, which would lead him to binge a lot. Now, this is where we introduced him to a if it fits your macros style of dieting, where I make all my clients put together their own meal plan using the foods that they like, as long as they hit their macros, micros, and their fiber goals that I set for them. The reason I use this type of approach is because the client learns more about nutrition. They learn, how much fats and carbs are in everything they put in their body. Also, they learn about how to balance everything, and they can fit in the things that they love, the foods that they love, into their diet. Let's say one day they're having a big craving and they feel like eating ice cream, and they find out they can fit a serving of two of ice cream into their diet for that day, and it fits their macros, then it's all good, and it helps long-term sustainability, whereas diet plans don't, which is why I don't believe in them. Now, starting macros for Ivan was 300 carbs, 55 fats, 180 grams of proteins. His starting cardio was 2 sessions of 300 calories on the Stairmaster, which is one of the recommended cardio machines. His average weigh-in was 169.4 pounds, so an almost 5-pound drop in his first week, which is completely normal. Most clients will lose a lot of water weight in the beginning. No, not all of that is going to be fat. Also, his macros were a little bit off this week. To be honest, for a lot of the 12 weeks, his macros are kind of up and down and whatnot. And yes, would he have lost more weight if he hit his macros perfectly every single day? Probably. But does it matter? No. Again, fat loss is not a sprint. It is a journey. Week 2, we had him on the same macros. Because week 1's macros were off, we kept him on the same macros: 300 carbs, 55 fats, 180 grams of proteins. Cardio the same, 2 sessions, 300 calories. His average weight for this week was 169 pounds, so only a 0.4 pound drop. Again, his macros are kind of off, but he still lost half a pound, which is still progress. Now, looking at his pictures, obviously he's holding a lot of fat. He's only been training for a year and a half, and you can see that he has a decent foundation. He has some musculature underneath that layer of fat. We just gotta reveal it. Week 3, macros: 275 carbs, 50 fats, 200 grams of protein. We dropped carbs by 25 grams and we increased protein by 20 grams. We also up cardio to three sessions at 300 calories. His new average low weigh-in was 167.8 pounds. Here's his week 3 pictures. Everything roughly looks the same. You can see a little bit difference from week 0 to week 3, but it's very minuscule. That's why we take weekly pictures, because little by little you will see changes, and as you guys will get to the end of this video, you guys will see how his body slowly but surely transforms. Week 4, macros the same, 275 carbs, 50 fats, 200 grams of proteins. We kept macros the same because he lost weight the week prior to that. If it's not broken, don't fix it, and don't rush the process. So cardio the same, 3 sessions at 300 calories. His new average low weigh-in 167.7 pounds. So this week he only dropped 0.1 pounds, but it's all good. So we had to make changes to his macros the following week. Week 5, macros 250 carbs, 50 fats, 200 grams of protein. So we dropped carbs by another 25 grams or 100 calories every single day. His cardio was at 4 sessions at 300 calories. So we increased cardio by 1 session. His new average low weigh-in was 166.6 pounds. So another 1.1 pound drop. Here's his week 5 pictures. As you can see, his waistline is shrinking. It's coming down. Even from the side profile, he's losing some of that, you know, some of that chest fat. He's losing some of that waist fat. His back, his actually V-taper is actually pretty damn decent considering how long he's been training for. In my opinion, it's probably one of his stronger points once he cuts down. Week 6, 225 carbs, 50 fats, 200 grams of proteins was his macros. His cardio was the same, 4 sessions at 300 calories. His new average low weigh-in was 165.9 pounds. He missed one of his cardio sessions, so he only did 3 sessions for that week. Still hit a new low, which is all good. Here's his week 6 pictures. Obviously the lighting changes, probably just took it at a different time of the day, but the abs are slowly peaking with that good lighting, and I think this week is probably one of the biggest defining weeks as far as progress pictures go. Week 7, now macros is the same, 225 carbs, 50 fats, 200 grams of proteins. Cardio the same, 4 sessions, 300 calories. This week he didn't miss his 4th session, he hit everything. Average weigh-in 163.8 pounds, so a 2.1 pound drop this week. And again, here's his progress pictures. Everything is looking relatively the same, just these little changes, and that's what will add up. Week 8, macros 200 carbs, 50 fats, 200 grams of proteins. We dropped carbs again a little bit. Cardio the same, 4 sessions at 300 calories. His new average low weigh-in was 162.7 pounds, so another 1.1 pound drop. And again, here's his progress pictures. Week 9, so macros the same, 200 carbs, 50 fats, 200 grams of protein. Cardio the same at 4 sessions at 300 calories. New average low weigh-in 161.4 pounds. So as you can see, it's all we're doing is making little small changes to his macros and watching how his body adjusts, and we adjust as his body adjusts, and that's it. That's it. And from there, it's just about being consistent on your macros, cardio, and workouts, and just being patient and watching that fat dissipate from your body. Week 10, macros 200 carbs, 50 fats, 200 grams of protein. The same macros as the previous 2 weeks, but we up cardio. So instead of 4 sessions at 300 calories, we did 4 sessions at 350 calories. So just an extra 50 calories per session, or an extra 200 calories burned for that week. New low weigh-in 161 pounds, another 1.4 pound drop. Here's his progress pictures. Week 11, so macros 175 carbs, 50 fats, 200 grams of proteins. As you can see, we didn't really change proteins since week 3 on. His protein pretty much stayed the same. All we did was drop carbs, which is what worked for him. Will this work for everyone? Not necessarily, depending on the client. So 175 carbs, 50 fats, 200 grams of protein. Cardio 4 sessions at 400 calories. So we up cardio again, so 4 sessions at 400 calories. Average low weigh-in 159.8 pounds. Week 12, macros 160 carbs, 45 fats, 200 grams of proteins. Obviously macros are getting a lot lower because your metabolism is going to adapt to the new macros, so that's why you have to drop macros. The whole idea behind fat loss is eating less than your metabolism burns, right? Or increasing daily activity to burn more than you're eating. So 160 carbs, 45 fats, 200 grams of proteins, cardio 4 sessions at 400 calories. His new low weigh-in was 158.5 pounds this week. And here's his transformation picture. Does he have abs? Is he shredded? No, but he is a lot leaner than he was when he started. He is 16 pounds leaner than when he started. What I recommended to him is if he wants, he can start lean bulking from there, or he can drop another 5, maybe 10 pounds max and continue his cut and then go into a lean bulk. I think another 5 pounds he would have abs. 10 pounds I probably wouldn't recommend it unless he really wants to get that lean, but he's only been training for a year and a half. So when you've been training for that short, you definitely want to maximize those newbie gains and continue making them gains, which is why we put him on a power program, because his lifts were relatively low and his strength increased as we went week by week by week, just by changing his workout program and putting him on a workout program. Before, he would just go to a gym and do whatever he wanted to do and whatever he felt like doing. He wasn't following any set type of program. So that's a big tip for you guys. If you guys aren't following a workout program, get on one. Know what you're gonna do before you even step into that gym. Know what your goals are, know what weights you're gonna be hitting, and that's how you make progress. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Share this video if you guys really enjoyed it. Much love, strength, and honor. Aloha.
Vegeta, what does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000!